Truth a truth in a any farm. Truth a truth in a any farm. Truth no need clothes. Make truth run free. From Norman Manley to Alexander Bustamante. It no need glasses for see. That from the root to the stem of the tree, PNP and JLP have been designed and created to hold down, hold back and mislead the Jamaican people. From then till now, the motive and objective have always been the same. It never changed. From Siaga to PJ Pattison, from Portia to now Andrew, PNP and JLP alternating but never ever stop and forever riding the gravy train to the demise and destruction of Jamaica and our indigenous children. Granny used to say, if fish come up from down a sea bottom and tell you say shark down there, you better pay attention and best believe say, if it no go so, well it near so. Wake up, Jamaicans.
Yeah man, I want everybody to share this live. Share this live because I have some serious questions to ask. A serious set of questions to ask Jamaica. Share this live. I'm going to steam myself because I have to steam myself every day I go on the road. And because I was in studio, I don't know if anybody had COVID or was near somebody with COVID. So I use the mental crystal. Me are going on my seal. Share this live. Prudencia, share the live, yeah. Come on, Jamaica. Let me go for me mental crystal, you know, cause when I done today, me know say some Lord God, share the live. Almighty God of Daniel. We have a big meeting today now, guys. I have a very big meeting. When you know, so then call me. I have a very big meeting. But I said to them that I represent the voiceless. So I'm going to speak to those who needs to get a conversation. It's not the meeting with the Prime Minister. I'm a businessman, you know. I'm a businessman. I need a life to reach 250 before I start talking. Because me can't tell you who get partner draw. Hey! Me a steam my face, guys. A lot of you don't know that steaming you. This is mental crystal. So I apply the mental crystal to the hot water. And yes, whilst I'm fully vaccinated, I still steam myself. Who is this calling me now? Lord Jesus. Jesse, me depend the live now. Go on Facebook. Me can't talk. Me have some things to reveal. Yeah. Alright. Go on the Facebook. Go on talk now. Me can't talk till it reach 250 people. Come on, man. Oh, Jesus. Well, I never know, say. Oh, Lord. Yeah, man. I steam myself. And guys, I must say thanks for the calls and the support to have this conversation on what is right for Jamaica. What is ethical for Jamaica. We need to know. No man, I can't talk unless it reach 250 to 300 people. Come on, no, man. The world only see me in a studio and only the day. Come on, man. Call on a friend. Stop do the work. Stop work from home. Stop work from home for 1 hour. Yeah, guys. I steam myself. I go on the farm now. And you see, I'm going to tell you, they're going to run on my life today. They're going to try to block me, so I'm not going to follow them up, or they're going to try to say I'm Facebook. But good morning. Good morning, President Biden. Good morning, President Biden. Good morning, the U.S. Embassy. Because I will need your protection when I am through on this live. Embassy of the United States. President Biden, Kamala Harris, morning. I can be an ally to the United States, to be a watchdog group for Jamaica. We can situate that we save our country. Share this live. Share this live, man. Because enough people think that they can silence me. But how me need to go for my tea, because me hear something, people. Come on, share this live. Share this live, you know. President Biden, the truth is, you said some time ago, and I need Facebook to understand this, and their Facebook, the administrators of Facebook, I am somebody with a mental health. I'm bipolar manic. And these people came on, and they used my mental issue, and them cost me. You see the pastor this morning, when he am bishop whatsoever, you're going to see him Facebook. I'm going to get his name. Tell me who was the bishop this morning. And him say, you mad boy. Imagine, I speak about my mental health struggle. And a pastor who must be the head, the shepherd of a flock, use my mental health struggle and cuss me. Use my mental health struggle, guys, and cuss me. And then they use my sexual orientation and cuss me, Jamaica. But you have other journalists in this country. And that's what I'm carrying you guys today. There are other journalists in this country who are homosexuals. And they're actually the mouthpiece of Andrew Holness. Or, I'm asking, are you the mouthpiece of Andrew Holness? I want to ask these questions today, Jamaica. And I have some pressing questions to ask. Jamaica, who do you know in this country that always has breaking news and they're releasing the information on the government? You're going to see a breaking news coming out any time of who the cabinet is. Because my understanding is that Nationwide News has the name of the cabinet ministers. Nationwide News, headed by Hughes, from my understanding and the intelligence that I've gathered. Hughes, is it true that you and the Prime Minister made the cabinet? Is there any truth, Hughes? Hughes, it's you this morning. Because I talk about the Prime Minister, I'm going to speak about all of his emissaries. Hughes, good morning. Good morning to the people of Nationwide News Network. Hughes, morning. Because they start a war room against me and they don't even know that the people who are in the war room. That meeting that I get to understand that the Prime Minister had with Mr. Hughes. Is there any truth to it? Mr. Hughes, are you the one that has sent Abka Fitzhenley to be calling people around Jamaica asking who is Andre Stevens? Mr. Hughes, is Abka Fitzhenley, is it true that Abka Fitzhenley is walking around asking people who Andre Stevens is, and if Andre Stevens is sent by people? Can I say this to you, Hughes? No, I can't call it, because I am in the jurisdiction. As a journalist, I can call it. Mr. Hughes, is there truth that Mr. Fitzhenley is on a mission for you? Mr. Hughes, is there any truth that the Prime Minister and you had a dialogue about who he's putting in the cabinet? And Jamaica, there's no lie about it, because the Prime Minister gave Hughes an exclusive interview, I think about a week or a half ago, where he told Jamaica that is now for him time. Yeah, man. It's now the time. Let me move this because I don't want to be distracted. It's now time that he shuffles the cabinet, because a lot of people are concerned about allegations of corruption. Why is it that the Prime Minister couldn't go to the Gleaner and have a sit down with them? Why couldn't he have gone to the Observer? What sets apart Nationwide News Network? Nationwide News. Morning to all the producers there. Cliff Hughes, senior producer Sonia. Morning, how are you? You have blocked me, but I have no problem. I know you're first loyal to Mr. Hughes. I understand that's where your bread and butter come from, Sonia. No problem. But I'm going to ask you this question. Jamaica, share the live, because I'm not going to talk until I see at least 500 people. And I have at least an hour and a half because the meeting is at 2 p.m. And I have to go fix up myself because it's one thing about Premier Boss, If you know me, I'm not short of clothes like some other journalists. And that's not Mr. Hughes I'm talking about. Because I'm sure Mr. Hughes can dress. You have some other journalists who say, me can't dress. And when you look upon them, you see them and show them penis in a WhatsApp group. Yeah, man. You have some nonsense in this country, Morning, Mr. O'Brien. Mr. Exhibitionist, how are you? Share this live, man. Share it. I'm at 140 now. Carry me up to 250. Make me Jamaica talk one thing. But before I get there, Jamaica, the conversation that I've been having about who is loyal, what is wrong, what is unethical, what is crude and disrespectful in this country are making rounds. I'm surprised that a common madman like me, a batty man, a fish, a fussy hole that call me. I remember said them a bully me, and them go report me to Facebook. You remember the last time I came live here, right here on my farm. What did they do, Jamaica? They reported me because Zuki Jarrett and the others came on, and when they realized that they couldn't take on the boy who taught them social media warriorship, they can't take me on, You can't take on the master. 48 laws of my power don't teach you that. Never you outshine your master, the man that taught you something. How can you take him on? Andrew Holness never taught me politics. He enabled my political ambitions, but he didn't teach me politics because Andrew Holness is a selfish man. When I see people as far as Canada can call me to say they have done so much work on even the vehicles of Mr. Holness, and when they were through, Mrs. Holness is going to accuse the people to say it's their workmen who mess up their vehicles, and the workmen must, based on what I'm hearing, I don't know if there's any truth to it. When I hear people call me and say, boy, Andre, in Portland is the same conversation of how others there treat them like garbage, refuse them. When I hear about past schoolmates of Andrew and Juliet call me to say, boy, the way them treat me, it is so wrong, they're hurt. I'm going to say this, Jamaica, if you never knew. You come to work? Morning, Jamaica. See my best friend. Me never know so she there. So when I see them talking, I have to ask this. Did you know, Jamaica, Mike Henry never liked, or I don't know if him like Andrew now, never supported Andrew Holness. And Andrew Holness might not know this until today. In 2015, before I left the party, Mr. Henry was in the caucus room in the opposition's caucus room in Parliament. And I back him up in the corner. I said, Mr. Henry, what is your issue with Andrew? And the man named the issues. And I said, Mr. Henry, the truth is, if a caucus of elders surround the Prime Minister, the leader of the opposition, and you guide him into the right ways, we can win the election. And I'm going to ask you, Mr. Henry, can you become the campaign manager for our election? And Mr. Andre have to think about that. I said, Mr. Henry, if you become the campaign manager, you would have silenced the people from Shaw's camp. And we put the people together. And what did Andrew do after Mike Henry won the election for him? He named him Minister of Transport the first time. But the second time, he ousted him out of the cabinet. And the wealth of knowledge that gentleman has, he should have been in the office of the Prime Minister guiding the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation. The wealth of knowledge that Mike Henry has, that has transformed transport, land, air, sea. Mike Henry is an Edward Saga because they came from this lineage of what? Intellectuals. Mike Henry went to Beckford and Smith, St. Jago High School. So he's very well learned. He's a reparationist activist. He's somebody that speaks about Pan-Africanism and the need for reparations and repatriation. And this time, the Prime Minister is speaking about ending monarchical ties with the Queen. Who better to do it than somebody who is an activist? Lester Henry. Yeah, man, Lester Henry. I was the one, Andrew, if you never knew, who convinced Mr. Henry. I never said anything to you. As I always do, I'm always around the country making sure that you look good. So when you go talk to Mike Henry, there was somebody who planted the seed already, Mr. Holness. This here boy here. The same mad boy, you know, willing for meat with, was the same mad boy. And I don't remember if a lot of you remember. Back in 2008 when Andrew used to wear the big ugly glasses and the big suit them and couldn't dress in them. And the socks them and the shoes them wrong. Look Panda Youth here. Robert Miller carried me, Andre Stevens. And said, Andre, help Andrew. And when you help Andrew, make sure Mrs. Holness will ask you. Look on my Facebook. And you see the two pictures me put up. You see that post-budget presentation there? And me buy that tie there card is. Me, Andre Stevens, go buy that tie there for $450. Ask Mr. Carby. Me buy 9 different green shade of green tie. And the happy socks. And me look for Mrs. Holness and me say you need to look like Mrs. Bustamante. Yeah, man. We never have no money, people. No money. We never have. Because the sharp supporters, them lock off the money from Juliet and Andrew. And I say, Mrs. Holness, I could go find some of the people them to come cook for the night. I would dress up some of the labor right them in a black and white. You remember that? Round at the back, jerk chicken, they say, and me I tell you, say, I'm a master logistics creature. And the night when the chaka at the round there, and me go ward off the era with taffeta and punji fabric, so people can't see the couscous over food. Enough of the people them never have no food the night, and we have to jerk chicken, cut up, and put an escovitch pan it. Juliet, you remember that? You remember, so we never even have no photographer the night, and we never have no whole heap of supporters, and me tell us if we could get the bus and the labor right then. You remember when Lynn and the Rasta one from the constituency and Slim, the brown lady, years them a war phone in a politics. Years from out at Olympic Garden. Years when Tisana from, you know, Tisana too. Enough for we never have it. But the evening we dress up ourselves to look good so that when Shaw supporters come, it couldn't be said that we never look good and ask if we never get the nice ottoman them. Ask if we never fix up on us my fashion stay, guys. I have a detail for clean work. Them never have no money to pay no caterer. And I me say I could get the people them. And me say dress up the place, put up the lit like them. And the night there the bleeder look so good, the amount of PMP come and say look like something I go on for Andrew now. And that was the time the party was at its worst financially. That was the time when the party never had anything. There are days, people, that me, they will never have no food, and I tell you, Mrs. Holness, the enough for your husband, enough. The woman they cover all of the man the tracks, all them tracks. And she said, Andre, Make the guy, Rambo, the driver, carry down a Mega Mart. Me a Rhoda would have run, go down a Mega Mart. Rhoda did have the little teeter then. Would have run, go down a the Mega Mart, and she said, Andre, buy a particular cordial. And I said, Miss Holness, the people don't like it because it's sour. And me used to labor, them used to come to me and say, Miss Holness, cheapy. And me used to say to them, whatever the wife or the PMs, the leader says, let us honor it. And me convince the people them to drink the cordial. This a boy and Rhoda would have said, Lord, only stop talk about it, man, only stop talk about it. So when you see Rhoda, only must respect the ground where Rhoda my Crawford walk on, because enough for only who never support the leader, and me and Rhoda run up and down. But you never know. But what me gonna say is now, Jamaica, it's still not reach 250 for me talk yet. When still not reach 250 likes or shares for me talk yet. So when me are telling us to Jamaica, them now remember the principles of loyalty. Me gonna ask you this. If you hear say your friend sick, if you hear say your son sick, you hear somebody naked in a half a tree, gotten beaten up, after their war 21, I messaged you, my mother messaged you, Prime Minister. Enough for your people that message you. And Juliet came. What did she come with? A bag of snacks, not even a natural juice, not even the cordial where you did love you when Miss Holness you did send. Pears, sugar and sweets you send. And your ears semi diabetic. If you did really mean me well, Juliet, and you send a dirty slippers, why you never go buy one slippers on a PLS and give me Mrs. Holness? What did the dirty slippers represent? And as me put on the slippers, people, my foot became swollen. You can ask the doctors there. I had to go back into emergency ward room for them to inject my foot to get it down. And every time I got another injection, something more did my foot literally turn. Bible tell you, say, wrestle not against flesh and blood, but principalities and powers and rulers in dark and high places. How coincidental, Mrs. Holness, that's as Valerie from Trelawney come give me the slippers. My foot. I'm showing them my foot, people. These marks. See the mark where you slip on my foot? See it there? All of these marks were marks that I got from the night that the demons attempted to chop off my foot in halfway tree. I was injured, you see my head here, so the amount of scar on my body. But I threw my granny, Mama will know the natural herbs. Why me come back, guys? My mother is so hurt. My mother look at me now and say, Andre, them come after you then, and you still attack. Jamaica, I tell my mother so no love me now. How now go protect me now. Jamaica, President Biden, tell my mother now. So now go dead for me now. Come on, man. Me hurt. Knowing say, me dead food. I am there for you, Juliet. There for you. I was there for you when many people accused you of being a wicked woman. I've been there for you, Andrew Holness, from Mrs. Joan Tyser Mills told you on the day of my graduation that this young man invested in him. And you took me from the 26th of June 2008 up to the 25th, up to 2015 August, when we walk away from you because of your wickedness. See now, but now I have a mother to stand up for me. No found have mother to stand up for me. And no found in this country. When you know so when the parents them when you stand up for one believe in her. When the parents will run left for no. My mother run left me. My mother put me out of house because I'm gay. Many of you know so the children live a life that probably only not appreciate want to do because of church people Uno turn, uno parent, turn where you pick me. But thanks to people like Prophet Lexi, who has shown me a motherly love. Enough time Prophet Lexi not agree with what me do people. Thank God for a woman like Denise Daly. That if me hungry, me can't say Miss Daly, me not have the money. She say, Mr. Andre, me not have it. But see $110 or $15,000. And me use that little money there. And go buy me socks them downtown. And me flip and package me socks them. Me use the money there for go pay. For get me tie them from overseas. Come on, no man, people. Them put me out, me naked. And somebody look for me and say, you're a liability to Andrew. We can't have you around him. So when me attack Jamaica, when me attack, why must I come off Facebook, Uni Warren? Because you know, I'm going to be talking now. So Andrew Holness, the conversation is no longer about you, you know. I just spoke about the situation so that I can move on for 2022. The conversation is no longer about you, Andrew Holness. It's no longer about you. The conversation is about what we want for Jamaica. But this is the final conversation about you, Andrew Holness. Yeah. But you can talk as soon finish, baby. Don't go too far, yeah? But the conversation, because the Prime Minister is just one man. The cabinet is just probably 14 of them. The conversation is about Jamaica. But let me tell you how these people are Machiavellians. Cliff Hughes, it's now your time. Jamaica, I want to ask Cliff Hughes some questions. And it's going to be so saucy, you know. I think we need to share this live. Sus Jamaica, come on. Wayne Lonesome, share this live. Come man, Lati, I know it's you, my sister. Love you. Send me the WhatsApp and we'll talk later, baby. Cliff Hughes, morning. I get to understand, is there any truth that you and Andrew Holness pick the cabinet? But hear the truth, Jamaica. Share the live, yeah. Hey, mama. No, sir. This I got sweet, you know. This I got sweet. President of the United States, Mr. Biden. I have some serious news for sure share with you. But I can't share it here, so. Me lawyer know every matter. Me lawyer know every matter. Me have all of the recordings them. I can be a great ally to you, President Biden. Kamala Harris, can you send a you? No, man. Jamaica, you know, me I put my life at great risk and danger, you know. Great risk and danger. So now time for you stand up with me. Send it to somebody at the US and make somebody share it on the US government page. Me need some, me not left my country. But me want protection in my country. Me want be the new watchdog group. And the watchdog group I go call Give Us Visions. Give Us Visions movement. Give us visions, lest the people perish. Yeah, man, Jamaica. Share the live. Share. What me say to you, share the live. A problem now, me go talk some things, you know. Oh, Lord. No, sir. No. Chantel, me like how you keep malice with me. Jamaica. Cliff Hughes. Yeah, run twet now, because you know what me know. Learn the journeys. Be on the standby, no? Be on the standby, because it's problem now. Hey, come on, man, come on. Me not talk till it reach 300 people. Come on, cause you know, they only know say. Only know say me know all of the dramas them. Chantel, morning. What a problem today, cause when Cliff Hughes done, me want him tell the nation if there's any truth. Cause you're the part every program, me want him tell me the truth, Chantel. Because Cliff Hughes seem to get partner draw. And me will run up and down, make sure that Holness look like the ideal Obama for Jamaica. No, man. You know want some partner draw? You hungry belly pitney them now want partner draw. Me a partner draw government. Me a partner draw government. Don't you? Me I gotta send this out, man. Give me a second.
Careful here, man. Careful here.
Me have good ear. Me no come from bad government. Me no wicked people. Come now, man. Taisha can't come on till about 11:20. Cause Taisha still at work. Taisha tell me say 11:20. So Taisha me really delay this thing for. Oh Lord. And only now make the live go up to the 500 people. So only things that me I go talk and make my talk we can mash down a man program. You know, so them mash me down and put me out mad house. Me go mash down some of them too.
Where you put them?
Who?
Where you put them?
Me? When you teacher them and get them partner draw. Fable Williams. Hey. Fable. Morning, Minister Fable Williams. Sleeping Minister. Where name again? Oriya Stronger when the police them get for them partner draw. No, sir. No. We know where we are. Come clap me. Oh. We know where we are. Clap no friend. We know. Just clap no. Yo. Child bells are ringing. Happy children are singing. We know where we are going. We know. Some sweet day, I'm going away. We're gonna move Holness. No more to roll. Come on. Some sweet day. When life is over, some sweet day, I'm going away. President Biden, when me done talking, me hope say, you send the US to pick me up at my house. Me can't get the location, President Biden, because me don't want to labor right them there and put me, come take me up, or them to take up Joseph Patterson. Morning, Joseph Patterson. Is there any truth? So when the man them lock you up, they make you naked in the jail cell, in some inhumane conditions, can't eat no food, Joseph Patterson. Me go join you drive, me go join you, Joseph Patterson. Boy God. Oh Lord. So here is my theory now. Here is my resolve. The Prime Minister read it, Lord Jesus. Him read it, you know. Oh Lord. See it there? Him read it. See it there, Andrew Holness. See him a read, me share the life and him read it. See it there, Jamaica. I've first now near 3 years, Andrew read my message. First in 3 years from me there, the mad house him not call me. But see it there now. The next thing is like, soon me read it, him a go block me. Him a go block me now, you know. Next time I see them, see it there. See him, me now go name man number. See it there. Who that? See it there. Honorable Andrew Holness. Yes, man. So all who things say me fake and me fool and me free. He was my first political boss. So, me go ask this question. I'm going to ask this question. Almighty God. Cliff Hughes. Cliff Hughes. Morning, Mr. Hughes. How are you? Is there any truth that you're actually the mouthpiece of Andrew Holness? And I want the followers tell me, say, yes or no, because only know Cliff Hughes business, you know. No for no labor right, no for no undecided. Why I ask the question is that, Mr. Hughes, there's truth. Is there any truth that you know when a minister of government is going to be fired? When a minister of government is going to change? You know when the extradition request comes in? Dear Emily Crooks, is there any truth that the reason why you left Cliff Hughes program station is because you never get your partner draw? Is there any truth that Cliff Hughes is a shark that he only feeds for himself? Is there any truth, Emily Crooks, Miss Goody Two Shoe? Yes, guy, you're a good girl, you know. You're very good and you're very polished. Cliff Hughes, I want you to tell Jamaica, is there any truth that the government of Jamaica gave you some tax write-offs? See, there the beast come. Him sends money. Cliff Hughes, is there any truth that you have tax write-offs near $1 billion Jamaican dollars because you have not paid taxes in a long time? Is there a promissory document between yourself and the Holness administration that every time you plan to take down somebody, there's a promissory document that binds you to an agreement, a gentleman's agreement? Dear Tax Admin Jamaica, when was the last time that Cliff Hughes paid his statutory deductions? Mr. Hughes, when was the last time that you have paid GCT in full for every month to the government of Jamaica? Mr. Hughes, is there any truth to this argument that the NHT has threatened to take you to court numerous times and based on the intervention? Is there any truth that based on intervention of the Holness administration, it was said that a minister intervened so that you don't pay tax dollars, the GCT, the NHT, and the tax write-offs? Is there any truth, Cliff Hughes? Cliff Hughes, is there any truth that nationwide news network listenership is 4%? Is there any truth that you have some of the biggest government advertising contracts, Mr. Hughes? So if it is that your listenership is 4%, how come the government of Jamaica give you so much contracts? You must answer that, you know, Cliff Hughes. Desmond McKenzie, you work at Nationwide News Network for years on the Mayor's Parlor. Can you tell Jamaica how many contracts that Nationwide News has received from the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development under your leadership? Auditor General, can you, Pamela Monroe Ellis, can you do a investigation as to how much contracts Nationwide News has received over the last 6 to 7 years from the government of Jamaica, and in particular the Minister of Local Government, Desmond McKenzie? Isn't that nepotism and cronyism? How can the minister work at Nationwide News and the government contracts are given for advertising for the Ministry of Local Government to Nationwide News? Cliff Hughes, how much money you owe the NHT? You must tell Jamaica that. Cliff Hughes, how much money you owe the NHT? Dear NHT, does Nationwide and Cliff Hughes owe you any monies? And were there any interventions by ministers of government or political alliance to see to it that Cliff Hughes was written off? Cliff Hughes, when last year pay GCT and every Jamaican fair pay GCT. And a mango time. A tea talk this name. We're going to sip some tea and we're going to talk some talk. Cliff Hughes. How much money you owe the Public Broadcasting Corporation of Jamaica? When was the last time that you made the payment of a $5 million to the PBCJ? When was the last time you paid the PBCJ, Cliff Hughes? I'm just asking. The broadband that you have for 90 FM to 90.7. When last have you paid the $5 million to the Spectrum's Licensing Authority? Jamaica, dear Favour Williams, is there any truth that you Favour Williams, is a founding investor of Nationwide News Network? Favour, can you answer that question? Are you, because I don't know if it was in your things to the country. Favour Williams, I'm calling out all of them, attacking down the systematic and encrypted corruption against this country. If the country is to grow, we must take off every chain. So we are going for them in a media, we are going for them in a private sector, them next. We are take them out. We are take out all of the cookie monster them. One by one. So Cliff Hughes, we are going to silence you once and for all. Every time Cliff Hughes, you think they can come take down people in a government. Andrew, it is said that uses you, give you right now. Hear the tea, you know. May ear say, the Prime Minister, is there any truth, Matthew Samoda, that the Prime Minister and you had a meeting yesterday? And it was told that you will not be the minister. You will not be the Minister of National Security and you are going to be removed. Me here say Jamaica, Matthew Samoda used my video and put on him status. And attack say the hashtag loyalty. Remember say them a boy do everything for get me out of the party now and this a common vice now. Them a use for advance them agenda because Holness. Say to them, him now put them in the cabinet, so them are going to use Andre now for say, boy, the Prime Minister don't know about loyalty. Don't use me thing, because you don't have no rights to my content. Because no found no true Holness and dash round now. Dash them way, Holness! Dash them way! Matthew Samoda, pack your things now! Me never tell him say evil go get exposed and one by one the Prime Minister go remove the whole out. Cliff Hughes! Is there any truth? So you get enough tax write-off from the government because the more you talk, yes, liberation, break every chain. Aye, morning. Break every chain, then some of it calm it down. Break every chain, Jamaica. Cliff Hughes, tell Jamaica. And you know, see, say one thing I know, Jamaica. May I use them same style pandemic, you know? Because I saw them would get this something I would hear by 12 o'clock. Breaking news on Nationwide News Network. See it ya? Who this now? I wonder if I bro God. I wonder if I broke. No, I know him. But him read the message. I can't believe the bro God read my message. Me not telling the same I go respond. See it ya? Why the pastor call me? Pastor? Yes, daddy. Yeah, me dey on the live now. Talk to me quick.
Alright. When you you come off, you talk to me because there's someone me want to get your advice on this.
But Papa, go on me live. Me a talk up things and me want you to pray for me. Go into the wilderness because me a talk some things when me need revivalist. Yeah?
Talk up your things.
Tell them, Pastor, say tell me to talk.
Talk up, nobody can beat you.
You go, don't you stand with your son, Pastor?
I stand with you. I stand with you.
And the revivalist church stand with me.
Without any apologies.
Yes.
I stand with you.
Oh yes.
I stand with you. Yes, speak up.
Speak up, Daddy.
People don't like to hear the truth. People don't like to hear the truth. The truth will always be an offense.
Yes, Daddy, tell them.
People will go hang themselves because of the truth.
Yes.
People will destroy you because of the truth. People will hate you because of the truth. The truth will always be an offense. Anytime you speak the truth and people get vexed, it's because you're doing the right thing.
So, Daddy, you said, talk up the truth.
Talk up the things.
And, Daddy, enough for them no know say. You was one of them was staying in the wilderness with me. To make sure that Kevin Smith not get invoke his spirit of evil upon the country. You remember the morning me call you, Daddy? Tell Jamaica what happened.
A whole heap of prayer we come out with. A whole heap of prayer we go down in a sackcloth and ashes and talk to God and bawl.
Daddy, you remember me tell you about the vision, how them want to take up the pitney them?
Definitely.
Ah, Jesus.
Definitely. But if you can find some of my video, then when we go up on the road, I bawl for people pitney.
Send them to me, Daddy. Me I go put them out. Me I go put them out.
Go to cleaner company. Google me. Just Google me.
That is Apostle. That is Archbishop Professor Apostle Pastor Brian Cameron.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, I have no fear. Stand for God.
Stand firm in the liberty
Where Christ has set you free.
Oh yes.
Be not more entangled in
The yoke of bondage. Daddy, pray quick prayer for me now and the nation.
In the name of Jesus, Father, we want to thank you.
Yes.
We adore you and we magnify your precious name. We come before you this morning, Lord. We pray for your continued protection and your guidance over this nation, Jamaica. We pray that, oh God, you will continue to bless your people. Remember those who are in need of healing. Remember those who are in need of financial breakthrough. In the name of Jesus, we place them before you.
Yes, Lord.
Oh God, those who are confused about their situation.
Yes, Lord.
God, we pray now in the name of Jesus that you will cover them, Lord.
Yes, Lord.
Every form of darkness, bind every plan of the devil, Lord, and set this nation free.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Your son, mighty God. Bless him and sanctify him and keep him under your blood. Back every force of
hey! Fire! Fire!
And set us free.
Fire!
In the name of Jesus, we call fire. We call the Holy Ghost.
Fire for Jamaica. Makatabandia. Fire! Masianda Mamandia. Makotobondi Memendia Mamasianda. Holy Ghost fire!
Hallelujah. Fire in the name of Jesus.
Aye. Bless you. Prophet. I'm on the live. What do you want to talk about it publicly, mommy? But Prophet, Pastor just finished. I know you don't like the thing, but Central Kingston is under serious fire. Make a call to the nation, Prophet. Prophet, I'm going to put you on the live. Please, mommy.
Everyone to stop turning a blind eye and saying it's not my child, it's not my community, it is our fight. Stop prophesying against the country and go and pray, because the Bible speaks about the tongue, and it's our responsibility. When we signed up as clergy, he did not tell us to be perfect, but he said, hear the prayers of the righteous. Children are dying, the country is bleeding.
Hallelujah.
It's time for us to stand together. We're not looking for perfect leaders. We're looking for righteous, because any man that is perfect, guess what happened? It's only Jesus Christ.
Hallelujah.
on the cross for us. So I dare one person out there in their suits and their lineage to say they're perfect in its time. Our children are dying and it's our responsibility. The churches, where are you now? We need to be without the walls and go back what Jesus said when he left. He said to go out in all of Judea.
Yes.
It's time for us to fight.
Yes.
People in prayer and fasting.
Yes.
It's time for us to kneel for the
In sackcloth and ashes.
Come on, somebody. What is going on?
Mama, I'm going to tell you.
Do not put me on live. I'm not doing this for publicity. I'm speaking. Yes, I've turned to violence. Where are you to kneel to God? Many of your children are in prison. We're losing people. But yet still we're running to the church. Don't you know intimacy with God? Yes, the church is there. The Bible tells us that. But are we just going there to say hallelujah and give our offering? Mothers, you're neglecting your children. What does the Bible say about Easter? He hears the prayer of the mothers. Where are you? He hears the prayers of the wife. The fathers are not loving the church the way they love their wife. We're protesting and gossiping and arguing over foolishness when bloodshed is all over Jamaica and we ourselves are prophesying into the bloodshed. Everybody's seeing every day what God is telling them, destruction. How do you want a country to be destroyed when you people live there? Go repent before God and ask God to reverse it. Everybody wants glory.
I soon call you back, mommy. I soon call you back. Yes. Jamaica. No, you see, like that was never staged. That was my prophet and my apostle who called him. I can find missionaries right across Jamaica who are praying for this nation. It's not a matter of exposing Andrew, but it's exposing the system, the encrypted system of friends and cronies. Cliff Hughes. If every Jamaican is paying their tax dollar and are getting no write-off, is it fair that you are getting write-offs? Is it fair that you are the mouthpiece, you are the cabinet? Why Andrew takes all of your advices, Cliff Hughes? Cliff Hughes, is it true that you're a homosexual? Why do they love you and bash me? And I don't mean any harm to anybody, Cliff Hughes. I don't mean any harm to Jamaica. I actually want to make Jamaica a new Jamaica. Mothers, are you standing for your children? Althea Christie, are you standing for your son? You're not standing for me. You're not standing for me, Althea Christie. My mother who birthed me, she threw me out of the house. She made my brother thump me in my face, bleed up my face. You can't ask Waterford. My grandmother, Mama Will, to this day stands for her son, her grandson. Come man, take off the cataract off on the eye, man. The conversation is about Holness. Alright then. If me tell you say Holness corrupt, what are you going to do to end that corruption, Jamaica? All I want to know the Dan man them. All I want to know who are rape the little boy them. All I want to know the pastor them, who are sodomize the little girl them. All I want to know the scammer pastor them, who are talk about. All I want to know the spiritual healers, who are binding up with dark world from Africa. But yet still, when you stand and believe in it, I'm not about that, everybody. I'm not about that. And Andrew Holness, I'm not going to come to Jamaica House tomorrow to become an idiot and you don't answer me. Andrew Holness, answer my call. Because when you were nobody, I was there for you. Andrew Holness, what do I want? My partner draw is figurative. I don't want no money from you. I want opportunities, Mr. Holness, for better Jamaica. I'm a creative. Some of the creations that I see coming from Jamaica is garbage. Let me help Jamaica position as a global tourism destiny. Look for my video them. Andrew Holness, I don't want no money. I want to feed the homeless. Help me turn my restaurant in our opportunity to feed people, to become an official soup shop for the government. I want an opportunity to send my fashion overseas, my food overseas in a frozen items. You think of money me want? I am not an evil person, so I won't end up like Kevin Smith. I will actually be celebrated and protected. I'm not an idiot. I'm not exposing them of their nasty sexual lives. I'm exposing the nastiness in how we govern. Andrew Holness, every Jamaican deserves a house. What is the mandate that Michael Manley says about housing? Why is it that $27 billion houses are built, Mr. Holness? The conversation is about a new Jamaica. The conversation is about a new Jamaica. The conversation is about our children who are raped and sodomized. The conversation is about our young men who have turned scammers and gunmen. The conversation righteousness exalts a nation, and sin is a reproach to any man. Wholeness. And that's why I'm asking Delpha Davis, how can you have Andrew on your platform and you not make him talk about him sins them, known and unknown? How can you attack from church people and 95% of your church hungry, Delpha Davis? Everything is all about sowing a seed. Pastor Delpha Davis, Power Faith International Ministries. Have you done enough to help the poor, the orphans, the homeless, the widows and the widowers? Have you done enough? Have you lived a life that says, if I can help somebody as I go along? Have you lived a life that says 1/10 of every offering that comes to this altar goes back to the poor? Are you having an accountability system, churches? The church corrupt. The politicians them corrupt. The police force corrupt. The justice system corrupt. Now Jamaica, now you see why the US made the declaration. The US made the declaration, Mr. Herald, that we might become worse than Haiti, Mr. Herald. And them not talk about the voodoo and them something. You understand, Mr. Herald? Eh? You understand, Mr. Herald? You what? How old you been now, Mr. Herald? About 60 down. Yeah. Have you been able to get any kind of funds from the government? The man house burned down near a year now. What is Ministry of Labour and Social Security doing for those elders? Juliet Holness, you are the first wife for the country. What are you doing for battered women? What are you doing for young men like me who were kicked out of their houses because we're gay? What are you doing as the first lady? Look at how Michelle Obama do. What are you doing for people who are living with mental health? I'm not going to Jamaica House. I can use this platform for Andrew to find me. Ryan Small, yes, you're on my live. You were my brother. You, Ryan, Lottie Body Small, Were my brother, I remembered what you did for me to become the president of the National Students' Council. You think so because me and you in a disagreement, me go see nobody do you nothing, Ryan, and me shut up my mouth. One thing you know about your brother Ryan Small, and me go unblock you today because the Lord say you come back in peace. And Ryan, you know what you do for Portia, what me do for Andrew. Ryan was a labor right, and Ryan was a PMP, and me was a labor right. And the problem what we say is, one, I got on Eckle and the other got on Jekyll. If me should have ever rise in this country, Ryan Small to be my chief of staff. Me not ask that. So all I want to think so no could have get it over Ryan. Let me tell you this. Ryan, not about dear Small and my brother. So all I want to think say, you could have come run up in this and take way what Ryan do for me. I believe in the principles of loyalty. Yeah, my brother Ryan Small, I forgive you. I mean, know so we have a disagreement. But one thing about we, Kevin Young, you come back to Jamaica and you come help me fight and fix Jamaica, Kevin Young. Ramona Leng, you're my high school sweetheart. And you are come be my right hand to fix the country at all. You remember the Fantastic Five? Orion went. And you me are sending an Auditor General's Department. Yeah, Orion went. Megan McHugh. And you me are send down at the Ministry of Education. Go take Grace McLean position. Because we're tired of the skullduggery and we're tired of the thief in this. Who will be a part of Funo government? Who are going to be part of Funo government Jamaica? So Cliff Hughes, stop going like say you're Jamaican. Use all about yourself first. Me never see you take up a live and say me can go down a Central Kingston with where I go on down there to find out the realities. But everything for Holness, you run with it. You make your producer run with it. Run with it. But this a boy, I come from a Melchizedek priesthood. And me now live no nasty life because Mr. Errol, from you know me, you see any man visitor come here to me like that except me driver them. Me just ask, come want them know say, me live a transparent life. You allow me to tell Mr. Errol? If you ask anybody in my household, anybody come to me and must business. Me not have sexual intercourse. So me might have a feeling, but me not act upon the feeling. So not found no. I better me go jerk off and move on. So if a feeling come from me, I better me jerk off because the whole away are you, man. Talk the truth, no man. Talk the truth, no man. And stop talk. A time for Jamaica be fair and honest and transparent, man. Time for Jamaica be fair. Time for Jamaica be fair and transparent, Jamaica. When me feel sexual urges, me go find Pornhub or find something jerk off and move on. Clean up myself again. It is you, man. And I know gay sex turn me on. I can't tell you that. I actually love to see other forms that are very unique. So no found things say, oh, because nah. But there is a hormonal imbalance that I suffer from. I have a lot of estrogen cycles, Jamaica. Estrogen cells. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to honor who I am. If many of us honored that we had temperament problems, if many of us honored that we had mental health issues, you'd have been successful like me. Because you would have set up a system around you, Jamaica. Set up a system around you that makes it fair. So like for instance, if I feel like I can't sleep, Dr. Longmore is there for me. Dr. Nesbitt is there for me. My prophet is there. My apostle is there. They call for me. They pray for me, Jamaica. Call for me and pray for me. And when me wrong, Prophet Lexi can say, Andre, you're wrong. When me wrong for my mother can say, you're wrong, Andre. Enough time right now, me and my mother in a no kind of love. Me love her same way, but me have to love her from a distance. Because the woman celebrate me, Jamaica. Yeah, man. So, Jamaica, I love you, know. But me I gotta say to you, you can't be hypocrite and cuss me say me a fish. And Cliff Hughes, who is known to even from my... Is there any truth, Mr. Hughes, that you live with your boyfriend? I don't live with a boyfriend. I don't even have sex. I don't even have sex. I couldn't tell last me have. But I've never really had sex. No, when we come and think about it. Never really have sex. No. But me I finish up the live, you know. Me I go over Wayne Lonesome. Because I go and talk up some more things about the partner draw. Go upon Wayne Lonesome now, people. Go upon Wayne Lonesome. Lunch hour time. And guys, if you're downtown, go to Premier Kitchen. Go to Premier Kitchen, in a digital food court. Yeah, me not have sex. I just look at foreplay like everybody else and so. Me not have sex, guys. That's too painful. No, sir. Me if you go take them to something, they are madman. No, sir. No. Guys, you not go see when me run a Wayne's program, you not go see when me get dressed. Me have a big international meeting today, you know. Some people want to sign me. Some international people want to sign me. Sign this a mad boy, because them say only a madman can talk truth. But oh, me never forget to tell you no. Final thing, Jamaica. Whoa. Andrew no put Matthew Samuda, from my understanding, as the Minister of National Security. And Matthew Samuda have me pan him status from yesterday evening. The mad boy him have pan him status. And then hear the hashtag loyalty. Cause him a say now say Holness really not loyal to him. Lolly, me could teach them how to dirt. Me could teach them how me not sit down amongst them. Because we say come out of Babylon one by one. Out of Babylon one. Oh Matthew, you get kicked out. You never think say Andrew did have sense. Me telling you, you know. When me telling you, you know. Me telling you, they say, oh no, say Andrew silent. My boss a listen to me. My boss a listen to me. No for uno who think uno away. See there. Me tell you, Matthew, you never go get your name in the cabinet, idiot. And I'm going to say this, Matthew. Me hear say your turn read yesterday after the meeting. Errol, Andrew, now put Matthew in the meeting, in the cabinet, you know. From my understanding, Cliff, is there any truth to this? And me hear say Matthew turn red. But Matthew, me not give no permission for you use my video upon your status. So you go turn blue today. You go turn green tomorrow. You go turn like the rainbow. You're going to turn Skittles. Skittles. Oh, taste the rainbow. I want to do no fish and bun up batty man. Ah, you go and go settle yourself, me attack. You can't tell me that. You're not going to tell me stuff it done. And me have rights to the land. You can't tell me I'm not over your side of the house. And if you take me on, me will call the police. Oh, talk about me must done like him think him a dictator to me. You go rest yourself and leave me alone. Anyways, Jamaica, time for me finish. Time for me finish. Because me don't want to get rude and get disrespectful. Because if Lincoln thinks say him a go take me on, a wrong person Lincoln. Wrong person you take on, but done. Like you think say me owe you rent. You only have in your cubicle and leave me alone. Anyways, Jamaica. I'm going to get ready for the Wayne loan. So, I'm out of order, so I'm clean. I'm going to tell me if you're done. Imagine. Remember, some of the part of the side of the land there, Mr. McLean. I write some of the McLean. Sit down under the tree. You're going to tell me done. You're wrong. Jamaica. How the youth going to tell me? Yeah, man, Lincoln, the landlord. How the youth got ready to come argue with me about done? Yes, when I talk about the injustices in this country. Yeah, it look like I really him at the landlord. Share the life there because look like Lincoln a go on beat. You know, hear me that beat down the place. Anyways, Jamaica later.